So when I first initially jumped in, of course I had breath, so I was okay, and I'm seeing the under the water. It's amazing. And at some point, you get to where you can't breathe anymore, and I didn't know how to swim, so I didn't know how to get back to the surface. And so slowly, it just started all shutting down, getting darker and darker, and then that was it. My name is Meehak. I'm a Western college student. I'm studying worship here, and I love Jesus. My family's from Congo, Africa, and I was born there, and we ended up moving here to the United States in 2006, I believe. My dad and my mom were pastors and would move from country to country, and they'll start churches, and then we'll move to another country, and ultimately that's kind of how we ended up here. I believe we really believed in Christ off the strength of our parents. Of course, we saw miracles, but a lot of things at that age, you just do it because mom and dad told you to do it, or we're going to church because mom and dad told us to do it. And it wasn't until we moved here and whenever my testimony happened, and that's when I truly accepted, like, okay, you're real. I'm really gonna follow you. I'm really gonna be in pursuit of living a life that's full of you. It was May 25th, 2008, May 25th. We were going to Houston with my uncle, and we got to the hotel, and on the left side of my eye, I saw a swimming pool, and I saw kids who were in the pool. And, they had floaties now. At this point, it was 2 years in after we moved, so we're still trying to get adjusted and everything. The kids were in there, they looked like they were having a blast. And so I told my brothers, hey, we're gonna go swimming with them too. So myself, my brother Samuel, my brother Daniel, and Honore, we just get to the pool. I jumped right in the middle of it, My brother Daniel was smart, like he, jumped on the side, because we all knew we couldn't swim. So he jumped in on the side and was hanging on the ledge, just playing, but I jumped in right in the middle. And so after a while, I couldn't come back up. I didn't know what to do. I was struggling, and my brother noticed that I was down there for a really long time. And so he jumped in. He tried to save me, but he couldn't swim either. And at that time, my body had gotten so heavy, and so he started drowning as well. And so my brother, who was outside the pool, Honore, he started panicking. And so he's, yelling, "My brothers are drowning!" And so a man who was walking around, he came, jumped in, and he took us out the water. And so they called paramedics, and paramedics got there, and they tried to do CPR and everything they could. And, they said we were dead on the spot, pronounced us dead. And so at that time, they called my uncle, who was in his room. He came down, they told him what happened, and he was like, well, I'm not their legal guardian. I have to call their parents. And so my dad was in the service. They told him what happened, and so he ran up to the stage. He told the pastor what was happening, and then about 600 people started praying. And then 15 minutes later, we all came back to life, me and my brother. I believe from the time where we actually jumped in and when we got out, it was like probably 5-6 minutes between that time. But between the paramedics and them and everybody getting there and pronouncing everything, I think we was dead for officially like 15 minutes or so. Between that time, I have no idea what happened. Like, I don't remember like seeing anything or going anywhere. But for me in that moment, I was able to like physically believe that he was with me because I got resurrected. And so from being a dead person or pronounced dead and being able to come back to life and doctors not being able to explain what happened to you, but ultimately that there was a cause and the reason why you're back to life, you have to find out why. And for me, that was like, why did you bring me back here? If this was my time for me to go, why didn't I just fully go or just be gone? But you brought me back for a reason. And so how do I now believe, in a person I've never seen and a person I've never talked to in a sense, but you brought me back. So I'm gonna find out who you are. I'm gonna find out why you did this, and I'm gonna find out what is it that you see in me that's worth me having life. Man, my life after this moment really changed. Did my faith just go like super fire? No, it got worse. I mean, school, bad influences, friends and all, steer. Especially when you have a clear revelation of who God is, that's when the craziest things in your life just start happening. And so as much as like the world was pulling on me, I also had moments where Christ was like, hey, I've never left you. I've never left your side. I'm still here. And in those moments is when I started cultivating like the gifts that God has given me. I started really pursuing like how to play keys and all these other instruments and writing songs. And a few years later, God like gave me some songs to write about this whole experience. And in 2018, it was top 18 album in the country for gospel. And so God kind of redeemed that whole situation, you know. I believe like He allowed me to go through something like that so that I can become stronger and trust Him even more for what's ahead and what's in store. And sometimes I don't see the full picture, so I doubt and I worry. But I'm gonna learn to grow and trust You even more. And wherever You lead, I will follow.